Good morning, everyone. If you have any requests, as always, you can drop them in the chat. The usual block can suffice today. Thanks for making it so early. All right, so we're going to start out on our backs today with the knees bent, come to a fallen bridge. Let the feet widen, not as wide as the mat, and then allow the knees to fall in. And if this is maybe stop number one on your morning, you have to keep the eyes open here. But if you've been up for some time, you can close the eyes and bring the gaze inward. Let the hands fall wherever feels right. If you've just gotten up, you might naturally feel inclined to bring them onto your torso, so feeling a little closed off. But if you've been up for a little while, maybe you're a little more open to feeling more open. Let the hands honor wherever you are and start to explore. So as you're open, maybe you explore your space or you start to explore the breath. Seeing where it's traveling naturally, feeling the rise and fall of your torso. Checking in with any of the thoughts that have greeted you at the beginning of the day. And then on the next exhale, press the air out of the body. Let the inhale be a reflex, filling up through the nose, expanding the chest and collarbone. And then sigh it out nice and easy. These don't have to be the deepest breaths of all time, just being conscious of where they're traveling. Next inhale travels through the nose, filling the ribs, chest, and around the collarbone. And then gentle sigh it out. Next inhale here. Feel the low belly, reach the low back closer to the floor, expand the ribs and chest. And exhale, let it go. You could do more rounds of this 3-part breath or Dirga Pranayama. This incremental way to deepen and enhance the quality of your breath. Good. We'll get to bring some movement in here. So first off, make sure you have some room overhead to reach overhead. We'll draw the feet in towards hips width distance and the heels nice and close to the glutes. Palms face down, setting up for an early bridge pose. So inhale, press the hips up, bridge pose, and pause here, hang out here. The inner thighs, hips width distance apart, but energize them towards one another so it lights them up, protecting the lower back. Pressing to the big toe mound, so the inner arches lift. Let the back of the head rest down onto the floor. So the back body starts to light up and maybe talk to you here. So take a breath in and exhale, gently lower down. We'll add the arms. Inhale, press up and reach the arms up and overhead, back of the palms press against the floor. Giving a little bit less help to the body here to press the hips up. Brings more awareness into the back body. So we'll inhale, lower down. Exhale, press the floor away, hands reach up and over. Bringing some warmth into the shoulders as well. Inhale, lower down, keep the awareness in the feet and the inner thighs. Exhale, press the floor away. Do this a few more times with your breath. Maybe closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Really focusing on the engagement of the back body here. Keeping movement with breath. One more round here. Good. And with the back body nice and warm, we'll bring some love to the front body. Come to a reverse tabletop in the legs, just to start out 90 degrees at hips, knees, and ankles. And then we'll press the palms into the tops of the thighs so the low core and the hip flexors can wake up. And then keep that activity in the lower body. Reach the hands straight up, flex up the wrist. Maybe give the forearms a bit of a stretch. You can pull back on the fingers or roll out through the fists. Pack the backs of the shoulder blades into the floor. Get a little more expansion across the chest. Thinking about being in a tabletop if you were flipped over. And we'll just go one leg at a time here. So take an inhale. Extend the right heel forward. Flex through the foot, hover the heel off the mat. Exhale to pull it back in. Inhale, send the left heel forward. You're getting a little bit of length on the front of the hip flexor. Exhale, draw it back in. You can stay right here with the legs, or you can add the arms. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Hovering up and down. Exhale to draw back to center. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, back to center. Good. Take this a few more times, alternating with the pace of your breath. Keeping the low ribs cinched closed so the low back reaches towards the floor. And it's not a matter of core engagement of pulling the belly button towards the spine, but think about how you would tense up if someone were to come up and pretend to punch you in the stomach. That's the kind of core engagement that we're looking for here. So rather than shrinking the belly in towards the spine, allow it to take up space. Even it out. Maybe take one more time to each side. Feeling some warmth and awareness in the front body here. And then when you're ready, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. Loosen up the lower back a bit. Relax the head and shoulders down. Good. And we'll grab behind the knees. Bring those rock and rolls the length of the spine. Maybe take a couple more. Then you need to massage out the long muscles of the back. And then we'll come all the way up to a cross-legged feet. Comfortable feet here. You can elevate the hips up onto a prop if that feels good. So the sit bones ground. Sit it nice and tall. Inhale to roll the shoulders up by the ears. Exhale, draw them back and down. Do more like that. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. Good. Inhale, circle the hands out, around and up. Exhale, place the right fingertips down, left fingertips reach up and over, starting to open up the side bodies. Keep plugging down through the left hip bone, bend the torso slightly towards the ceiling, and let the top palm face down to protect the shoulder. Good. Inhale, lengthen out to the center, reach up tall. Exhale, left fingertips down, right fingertips reach up and over, nice proud chest. Bring some distance between the right shoulder and right ear. Good. With your breath, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, back over to the right. Maybe you find a bit of a deeper bend in the elbow, exploring the depth of this stretch. Maybe you hang out for an extra breath, inflating that left side lung to broaden across the ribs. Inhale as you reach tall. Exhale over to the left. Maybe explore the depth on this side a little bit more by bending the elbow. Good. One more time to each side. Take it as you just took it before. Maybe you drop to the forearm. And the other way. Good. And from this left side, we're going to walk the fingertips out in front of us, finding a passive fold over the legs, loosening up the lower back. Maybe around the chin into the chest. Imagine you're breathing into a balloon at the low back, filling it up. Feel the back body around and open up here. And then we'll walk the hands in. Once again, sit up nice and tall. And I'll roll the shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Good. And I'll circle the hands around and up once again. This time, find an easy twist to the right. Right fingertips tense up behind you, left fingertips in front or on the outside of the right knee to keep the spine tall. Take a nice inhale, lengthen out the spine. And exhale, maybe let the breath deepen the twist. You can draw the gaze past the back shoulder. You get a little stretch in the side of the neck. Good. Inhale, gaze forward, unravel, circle out around and up. Exhale over to the left. Left fingertips behind, right fingertips either in front or on the outside of the left knee. So the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe deepen the twist, gaze behind you. Good. Inhale through center one more time to each side. Exhale, twist to the right, thinking movement with breath. Inhale through center. And exhale to the left. Good. Inhale, reach a tall. Exhale, come on through to a tabletop. Either roll over the shins or tip the hips to one side. We'll set up here on all fours, spreading the fingertips wide. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And the inside creases of the elbows forward. Gaze about 6 inches in front of the fingertips, front and lengthen the back of the neck. We'll take some cat and cow. Inhale for cow pose. Drop the belly down, reach the head and hips up. Magnetize the wrist creases back towards the knees to broaden across the chest. As you exhale, press the mat away, dome up the upper back, find your cat shape. Good. Maybe use this as a moment to close your eyes, tune in with what you need here. You can swivel out the head and hips in opposite directions. You just find some intuitive movement rather than kind of falling into a more robotic rhythm of cat and cow. And if that serves you, you can always take it. Find about 3 more breaths to take whatever you need here. Loosen up the spine. Tune in with who came to your mat this morning. We'll meet back in a neutral tabletop when you're ready. We'll plant through the left palm. Inhale, reach the right fingertips tall. Draw the right fingertips behind the right ear. Peel the chest open even more. Exhale, elbow to your left wrist. Pressing for thread the needle here. Inhale, open up. Try to take the weight out of the left wrist. Really press the mat away. Exhale, close it off, mobilizing the mid-back, keeping the sacrum level with the floor. And once more here. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Yeah, this time open all the way up. Reach the fingertips tall. Exhale, thread the needle. Right wrist behind the left, right ear and right shoulder, ground hips reach high. The left hand can stay by the nose. Can reach up and overhead or around the low back. Maybe you choose a different variation today than you usually do. See how that changes the stretch. And breathe onto the surface of the underside of your shoulder blade, really feeling that open up. Pressing into the outside of the right arm, keeping the hips at center. Good. Plant the left palm right back down by the nose to open up the chest here. And take some wrist rolls on the way down. So we're going to stay working with this right side. So angle the shins over to the left. Send the right leg out long behind you, coming to a modified side plank. The inner arch feels down with the floor. Inhale, open up the right fingertips. So the whole right side body is lengthening on top. We'll start to draw some circles with the right arm, reaching up and over, feet curving out the whole side body, and dragging the fingertips down, back, around, and up. Take this at your pace, maybe hang out anywhere that feels like it needs a little more love. Again, you can close your eyes here, moving intuitively. Noticing if you're holding on to breath, using that as a cue to maybe stay somewhere a little longer. take one more round here. Meet back with the right fingertips reaching up. And exhale, close it off back to your tabletop. Maybe take a cat and cow, rinse it out. Maybe feel the right side body a little bit longer than the left. And we'll even it out. Inhale, peel the chest open, reach the left fingertips tall. And then gather the left fingertips behind your ear. Exhale, left elbow to your right wrist. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, close it off. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. Inhale, open up all the way. Reach the fingertips tall. Exhale, thread the needle. First behind the right. Right hand can stay by the face. It can reach up or on the lower back. And pressing to the outside of the left arm. Peel the right shoulder back in space. Good. Gather the right hand down by the nose. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, find some wrist rolls on the way down. So finishing this out, angle the shins out to the right. Extend the left leg long, feeling the inner arch with the floor. Inhale, open up once again. Left fingertips reach tall. Exhale, left fingertips reach overhead. Knee curving out the body. And then take this into some circles here. Rising the shoulders. And then closing it off. One more round here. Bring it at the top. And then we'll find some wrist rolls on the way down again as we close it off the tabletop. Good. We'll draw the big toes to touch knees nice and wide. Briefly send the hips back to a child's pose here. Crawl the fingertips forward, melt the chest down. If you notice a bit more opening on the upper back than you're used to, allowing the chest to fall through. You can bend at the elbows, giving yourself a pat on the upper back and lengthening out the triceps. And a few rounds of breath here to check in. Maybe notice what's changed since you came to your mat at the beginning of class. Maybe use this time to set an intention or focus for your practice. Maybe that focus comes with the answer of how do you want to set up your day. So for me, that's presence, trying not to focus on what's coming next, but working on what I'm working on right now. And letting that intention bleed off your mat. So take an inhale, feel in whatever came to mind. Big open mouth exhale, release any obstacles. Good. Extend the fingertips forward. We'll pull back up through a tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a forward walk here, pedaling out the heels. Using it to either shoulder. And the hips rock from side to side. And then we'll soften in here to clean it up. Start by gazing at the hands, spreading the fingertips wide, really clawing the mat. Then the inside creases of the elbows forward. Feel the shoulder blades slide wide on the upper back. And draw a slight bend to the knee to tilt the tailbone a bit higher, finding some more length in the hamstrings and in the spine. And then allow gravity to do the work in the heels. It's okay if they don't feel with the mat. Inhale, lock this in. Big open up, exhale, release some heat here. Good. Inhale to gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, travel to a ragdoll pose. Feet walk towards the hands. Gather them hips width distance or wider. Step for opposite elbows, gently sway from side to side, or maybe find stillness here. You might find this might rock forward and back. And check in with the neck, release any tension. The head hang below the heart for a moment. Good. Release the fingertips down. Heel toe the feet to hips width distance. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Tuck the chin to the chest. Gently roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking bone by bone. Land at the top here. Find a couple shoulder rolls. Flutter the eyes open. Spread the fingertips wide. Meeting in mountain pose. Just take a moment here. A couple of deep breaths. Bring our awareness upright. Lifting and spreading out the toes or rocking towards the toes and heels. In these moments of stillness can have some slight movement. Good. Inhale, reach the fingertips forward and up, finding tall mountain. We'll spin the palms so much behind us that the triceps really wrap around the upper arms. Take a breath in, reach the tailbone down and the hip points up to take a slight bend out of the low back. And we'll give ourselves a pat on the upper back, bending at the elbows once again, opening up the triceps. And from here, paint the elbows onto the ceiling and finding two straight lines above you. So the hips press forward slightly, you opening up the lats and the outsides of the shoulders. Good. Inhale, reach the fingertips tall once again. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Let it go. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthening out the spine. Draw your fingertips to your shins or your thighs. Well, exhale, take this to a crouching curl. Come up onto spider fingers. Lift the heels up. Round out the upper back as the forehead reaches towards the knees. Good. Inhale, take this back to a halfway lift. Seal the heels down. Exhale, find a low lunge on the right. Step the left toes back. A nice wide base here, right knee over right ankle. We'll ground the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the fingertips up for your low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Check in with the low back, press the hips forward. Pull back through your right hip crease slightly. Spin the palms once again to face behind you. Close off the front ribs so you're not flaring through the front body. And find those shoulder taps once again, really opening up the upper back. So maybe the chin lift here slightly, lighting up the throat. Good. Inhale, reach the fingertips tall. Exhale, frame the front foot. We'll step back to a high plank. Backing shoulders over it. Nice and strong here. Ground the knees and untuck the toes. Modified plank. Inhale, press the mat away. Dome up space between the shoulders. Exhale, lower all the way down with control. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, up for baby cobra. Float the chest and palms. Drive the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press onto tabletop all fours. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Big breath in through the nose. Strong, open up, exhale. Inhale right here to seal your lips. Exhale through your nose, find some texture and heat in the back of the throat. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to your crouching curl. Come up onto spider fingers, lift the heels. Draw the forehead towards the knees. Good. Inhale, back to your halfway lift. Feel the heels down. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Slide the right toes back. Set up your base here. We'll ground the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Press the hips forward. Reach the fingertips up. Spin the palms behind you. Exhale for your shoulder taps. Open up the upper front body. Good. Inhale, reach the fingertips tall. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step the left toes back to a high plank. The knees can be up or down here. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, lower all the way down with control. Inhale for cobra pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, press through the palms. Slight bend in the elbows. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes under. Inhale up either to a high plank or a tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, 2 breaths here at your own pace. Good. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, forward fold. Good, we'll key out the arms, rise out, round it up to a tall mountain. Send the palms back. Exhale once again for those shoulder taps. Press the hips forward. Inhale for tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, crouch and curl, lift the heels, round the body in. Inhale, back to your halfway lift, feel the heels down. Exhale, low lunge on the right, slide the left toes back. Round the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, low crescent lunge, reach the fingertips tall. Exhale, once again for those shoulder taps. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back to a high plank. The knees can be up or down here. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, lower, option to lower halfway down for chaturanga. Hug the elbows in, hover the torso. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip to the top of the feet, straighten the elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips, then tuck the toes. 2 breaths here at your own pace. Letting this be your own reset button. 1 more round of breath here. Really press the exhale out. Good. Final side. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, crouch and curl, round it in. Inhale, halfway lift. Once again, feel the heels. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Slide the right toes back. Round the back knee. Inhale, rise up, low crescent lunge. Exhale for your shoulder tap. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back, and take your road to a downward dog. So tune in with what you need here. Maybe that's skipping the flow and reaching the hips straight up. Once you land there, take 2 full rounds of breath. Good. Inhale from down dog, kick the right heel high. 3-legged dog, and pause here. Square off the hip, point the right toes down. Distribute the weight equally between both hands. And we'll reach the heel and entire, bend the knee, exhale, open up the hip for your scorpion pose. Starting to bring some length to the front of that right hip flexor. Keep the chest square, pressing back towards the left side. Inhale to square it off, lift through the left heel. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. So think of that same crouch and curl sensation on the upper body. Press the mat away, round out the upper back. Good. Inhale, kick the right heel high. Exhale, knee in towards your nose. Round up the upper back. Good. Once more here. Inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, step all the way through to a low lunge. It takes a couple extra shimmies at the front, no problem. Find your way back to a low lunge, knee over ankle. Keep the back knee lifted this time. And now rise up to a high crescent lunge, magnetizing everything towards the midline. Fingertips reach tall. Slight bend in the back knee, and then just notice automatically as you set in, are the palms spun further back a little bit more than you're used to? Maybe you have already a little bit more opening on the upper back. Settle in here, find the breath. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, we'll find a double lunge here. Palms draw down to heart center as the back knee lowers to a hover 90 degrees at both knees. Just 2 more like this. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale down to a double lunge, lengthening out the quad a bit. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down, double lunge. Good. Inhale, reach it open. Exhale, press to a warrior 2. Front heel in line with your back inner arch. Shrug the shoulders back and down a couple times. Gaze past the front fingertips, set up your shape here. Firmly root through the outer edge of the back foot. And press the right knee out to the right slightly so the outer thigh engages. Good. We'll inhale to straighten out the front knee, palms meet overhead, flying warrior. Exhale, press it right back down like you're moving through water. Press through the palms, warrior two. Sync up with your breath here. Inhale, flying warrior, straighten out. Exhale, warrior two, press it back down. Good. Inhale, flying warrior, last time. Exhale, warrior two. This one here, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm ground, left fingertips reach up and over. Rotate the chest towards the ceiling, press the hips out in front of you. Find the breath here. Good. We'll inhale to rise up through your warrior two, keep the front knee bent. Exhale, reverse warrior, trace the line up along the ceiling. Left fingertips above or below the back knee or around the lower back. High five the back wall here. And then option to take this top right hand into a shoulder tap. The right hand taps the back of the right shoulder blade. Trace that right elbow even further back. Might get a deep stretch all the way down towards the right hip. Good. Inhale, release the right fingertips back to reverse warrior. Exhale, we'll cartwheel the hands down to a low lunge. Setting up our base here, widening it out once again. Plant through the left palm either on the mat or onto a block. Inhale, open up the chest, low lunge twist. Settle in for the exhale. Feel the right knee hugging in towards the midline, opening up the outer right thigh and hip. Inhale here. Exhale, close it off, step it back. Take your road to down dog again, however that looks for you. You land in downward dog, take 2 rounds of breath. And from down dog, inhale, kick the left heel high. And settle in here. Reach from the heel, square off the hips. Check in with the hands. Try not to dump into the wrists here. Good, and then we'll lift the heel a bit higher, bend the knee and open up the hips, finding your scorpion pose, opening up the front of the hip flexor a bit. Good, inhale, square it off, lengthen through the left leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose, find that lift from the left hip flexor, press the mat away. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, round forehead to knee. Good, one more, inhale, lift. Exhale, draw it in, press the mat away. Good, this time we'll take it all the way through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step through to a low lunge, lift from your hip flexor. It takes a couple shimmies. Once again, set it up so left knee's over left ankle. Inhale, rise up for your high crescent lunge. And settle in here. Nice wide base, let the breath move through the chest, widen the arms as much as you need to. When that heartbeat dance around in your chest. Okay, we'll inhale for our high crescent lunge. Exhale, double lunge, palms draw through heart center, right knee comes to hover, lengthening the quad. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, double lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it down. Good. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, burst it open, warrior two. Setting up your stance here, front heel in line with back inner arch, feeling down the outer edge of the back foot. Reaching through both sets of fingertips. We'll straighten up the front knee, inhale, flying warrior, palms meet overhead. Exhale, press it back down, warrior two, again like you're moving through water. Inhale, flying warrior. Exhale, press it back down. Check in with the torso, trying not to lean too far forward or back. Good, once more. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, we'll reach forward over the left leg. Exhale, extended side angle, right arm up and over. Good. Find some movement in the torso here, opening up and trying not to get into that autopilot state. Learning something new, exploring here. We'll inhale, rise up through warrior two, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior, right fingertips avoid the back knee or wrap around the lower back. palms bent to face behind you, or again, that option for the shoulder tap on the left side. Tracing the line on the ceiling here with the left arm. You're getting a deeper stretch down towards the psoas. And now release, come back through your warrior two. Exhale, frame the front foot, set up your low lunge here, coming back onto the back toes. Plant through the right palm here. Inhale, open up, low lunge twist, left fingertips reach tall. And check in with the right hip, try to keep it level with the left. As the chest opens up, take an inhale. Exhale, close it off, and take your road to downward dog. A big breath in here. Like you're saying the letter P, make a sound on the way out, release and heat. So take one more breath in here. And gaze down at the center of your mat, lower the knees, and we'll come to a child's pose. Big toes come to touch. Send the hips back. And with as much effort as you committed to that flow, commit just as much to releasing here. Maybe take a scan, release any tension in the ankles and toes. Let the creases behind the knees deepen as the hips press back. In a sense of heaviness and surrender into the lower back. And feel the breath move through you reflexively as it expands and collapses the ribs. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. Bring some softness into the elbows and the fingertips. Take about 3 more rounds in this child's pose, kind of using it as a midpoint check-in. Maybe you revisit with your focus either for your practice or for your day. And just observe any differences in breath and mindset and temperature. Good. Inhale to press back up gently through a tabletop and take a messy road to down dog. Send the hips up and back. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, tiptoe to the top. Good. We're going to add on a layer here. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, crouch and curl. Drive the knees in towards the forehead, lift the heels. Good. This time, as we feel the heels and rise up, we're going to set the hips back and down, come up into a chair pose. So big toes and heels touching. Finding some of that opening in the upper back, maybe the palms bent to face behind you. With the tailbone back, maybe wiggle the toes. So we're going to widen the arms out into the P. And then give ourselves a big bear hug here. So right elbow on top, left elbow on the bottom. Maybe you crawl the fingertips to hook on the insides of the shoulder blades. Notice what this does to the breath in the chest, kind of creating some resistance for our breath. Good. Inhale, open back up to a T. And exhale, dive it over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, low lunge on the right, so slide the left toes back. Good. Inhale, rise up for your high crescent lunge. We're going to bring the arms this time to eagle arms. So right elbow underneath, left elbow on top. Finding a bit of a challenge for the stability here without having the arms in this high crescent lunge. Good. Start just by setting up the upper body. So elbows in line with the shoulders and slightly press the forearms away from you so you get a bit of opening on the upper back. We're going to challenge the balance here a bit. So inhale to prepare. Exhale back to that double lunge in the leg. So the back knee comes to lower to a hover. Good. Twice more. Inhale, press through the back toes. Exhale, lower down to a hover. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, also press through the front heel. Good. Unravel the eagle arms. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, press open, warrior two. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, rise up warrior two, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior, option for that shoulder tap. Good. Inhale. We'll rise up straight arms, straight legs this time. Set up for a triangle pose. You can walk the back toes in slightly to set up. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, arms to 16-12. Triangle pose. As you settle in, bring a micro bend into the front knee just to protect it from hyperextending. And then the right hand either lands on the shin, the top of the foot, or a prop on the outside of the right leg. 3 to 5 solid breaths here. Down. Good. So to re-bend the right knee. Now rise up through a warrior two. It might feel a little bit shorter. Exhale to frame the front foot. Come back to your low lunge. And we'll plant through the left palm. Inhale, open up, low lunge twist once again. Exhale, close it off. Step the right toes back. And take your road to downward dog. Take 2 rounds of breath here, resetting. And out the gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, travel to the top. Good. We'll draw the big toes and heels to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale for that crouch and curl. So low, heels come high. Good. Inhale as you feel the heels, sit down and low into a chair pose. And settle in on the exhale. Good. We'll tee out the arms here in our chair pose. Come to that bear hug. This time, left elbow on top, right elbow on the bottom. Try to lift the elbows away from the chest, getting a little more of an opening on the upper back. And creating that resistance for the breath. Good. Inhale, tee out the arms, feel the breath flow. Exhale, dive it over the legs, forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, step the right toes back, low lunge on the left. And lining out your stance here. Inhale, rise up high, crescent lunge. Next exhale, we'll find the eagle arms on the left. So left elbow comes to the bottom, right elbow comes on top. Press the palms to touch, or you can come back to that bear hug variation. So challenging the balance here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, find that double lunge stance in the legs, hovering the right knee. Inhale, press through the front heel and the back toes. Exhale, lower back down. Good. Once more. Inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale, rise up, release the arms, back to high crescent lunge. Exhale, open up for your warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, rise up, warrior two, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior option for that shoulder tap. Good. Inhale, rise up, straight arm, straight leg, setting up for triangle. Exhale, reach forward and then down triangle pose. Again, option to catch a prop on the outside of the left leg. Micro bend the front knee, spiral the chest open. 3 to 5 breaths here. Good. We'll bend the left knee. Inhale, rise up through your shortened warrior two. Exhale to frame the front foot. Set up for your low lunge twist. Plant through the right palm. Inhale, open up the left arm. Good. We'll exhale for a different transition here. Walk the left fingertips to the inside of the left foot. We're going to keep walking our way over to the right till we find our way in a wide-legged forward fold. Good. Explore different depths by widening or shortening your stance here. Maybe wiggle the hips from side to side a couple times. Check in with the inner thighs. And come up onto spider fingers, think of a halfway lift. Then exhale, find your wide-legged forward fold, let the chest melt down and through. Maybe the peace fingers wrap around the big toes, or you walk the fingertips through the legs. The head hang heavy, shake it no and yes. And in a restorative and cooling posture with the head below the heart. Good. And we'll walk the fingertips right beneath the shoulders. And from here, we're just going to heel toe the feet all the way to touch. So we're going to come to a forward fold right in the center of the mat. Bringing the toes and the heels all the way to touch. And I'll take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, let it go over the legs. From this place in the center of your mat, inhale, sit the hips back, reach the fingertips forward and up, finding a chair pose. And then from here, we're going to set up our eagle pose. So starting with eagle on the right leg will reach up and over. Option to take a kickstand with the right toes, or you can find a double wrap with the back of the left calf pressing into the top of the right foot. And then the arms can move either to that bear hug with the right arm on the bottom, or you can come to that double wrap in the arms as well, pressing at the elbows and at the wrists. As the breath moves through you here, feeling those resistances in the chest. Press the elbows slightly up, the forearms slightly forward. Good. Take one more inhale here. Exhale to release, back to chair pose. And then forward fold, let it go over the legs. Good. You can widen the feet here briefly if you want to come through the knees or shake the head no and yes. Again with the breath. And then we'll heel toe the feet back to touch. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit low and reach high, setting up for our eagle shape. So the left side, left leg reaches up and over, either towards the kickstand or the double wrap. And then the left arm comes underneath the right, either for the bear hug or the double wrap. And try to squeeze the inseams of the legs towards one another. That helps with stability. And the upper arms lift and press forward, open up the upper back. 2 more breaths here, you got it. And present. Inhale, gently unravel back to chair pose. Exhale, let it go over the legs. So we're going to heel toe the feet all the way out back to a wide-legged forward fold. If it's more comfortable, just to step the feet wide. We're going to take these to some side lunges here. So really bring the legs nice and wide. We'll start by bending the left knee, bending the right toes up towards the ceiling. Fingertips can stay planted for the first couple rounds. And transitioning the hips nice and low, bending it over to the right. Take this from side to side at your own pace. Maybe challenge the balance, draw the hands to heart center or reach them out in front of you. Let's do that one more time to each side. And then the next time you end up on the right, just go ahead and spin over the right leg, coming to a low lunge here. Good. We're going to take this right into half pigeon. So from our low lunge, we'll heel toe the right foot over to the left and drop the right knee down, coming to our half pigeon shape. You can elevate the hips up onto a block, or if you'd rather take half pigeon on your back, setting that up, finding a figure 4 shape. Back of the head rests down as you pull the knees into the chest. So take your half pigeon wherever it serves you, supported whichever way you need. And a few good rounds of breath here. Just really settle in. Finding some surrender in the upper body as the chest melts down. Releasing tension anywhere, we don't need to hold it. And breathing into the outside of that right hip. I have about 3 more rounds of breath here. Eagle pose really hugs in the outer hip, so it engages the exact muscles that we're stretching now. So if it's taking a little longer to settle in, that's why. So 1 more round of breath here. Good. If you're on your back, you go ahead and switch sides. We're upright here. We'll do a little dance to get into the other side. So press up onto palms, tuck your back toes, you step back to a downward dog. So any movement here that you need to reset. And we'll inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top. We're back in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slide the right toes back. We're back in a low lunge. And from here, we can make our way into half pigeon. Heel turn the left foot across the mat, rolling the shin down. Again, you can always elevate the hip with a block or a blanket or any sort of support. And again, take your time, lengthen out, and then settle in. Rounding down, taking inventory of where there's tension and where you can release. Letting those deep three-part breaths, filling belly, ribs, and then chest. Releasing the jaw. Letting gravity do some work for you here. And 1 more round of breath here. Now inhale to press back up. If you're on your back, go ahead and bring both knees into the chest. If we're upright here, sit off to the left. Bring the right leg around. Windshield wiper the shins from side to side. We'll eventually make our way down onto our back. With control, use the core as brakes. And once you land on the bottom, bring the knees into the chest. We're meeting here. We're feeling the sacrum make contact with the floor. And we'll draw the palms right on top of the knees, letting the shins slide forward, restoring a slight bend in the lower back. Now we'll release the left knee so the left foot heels down. Right ankle crosses up and over for a figure 4 shape. Bring the left hand to the top of the right ankle, and we'll roll along the outer edge of the left foot, just sending a little more love to our outer hips after all the work they did in our eagle pose. In this shape, pressing the right knee straight up towards the ceiling. You can key or cactus out the right arm for a bit of a chest opener. Filling up the right lung with breath. Inhale to unravel, come back to center, step onto the left sole of the foot. And then we'll switch sides. Right foot steps down, left ankle crosses up and over, figure 4. Right ankle grabs the top of, or right hand grabs the top of the left ankle, and then we roll over to the right. The sole of the left foot stands on the floor as we press the knee up towards the ceiling. Key or cactus out the left arm, filling up our left lung a little more. So let's inhale to unravel. I'm going to step the left foot next to the right and keep the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. We're going to roll on the edges of the feet so both knees fall over to the right. And if you want to help the stretch a little bit, start by flexing through both feet so we protect the knees. And then reach the top of the right foot to the top of the left knee. So you're kind of guiding that left knee into a deeper internal rotation. And then the arms can kind of just open up here, expanding through the upper body. Letting our legs do the work here. Good. We'll ground the palms by our sides. You're using that right foot, release it from the left leg, and then come on back to center. Feet a little wider than hip width distance. And let the knees roll over to the left. Again, start by flexing through both feet. If you want to help the stretch here, lift the left foot on top of the right knee, guiding it into a deeper internal rotation. And the arms can open up here to really fall wherever feels right. Keep the feet flexed, protect the knees. Release the left foot from the right leg. Inhale, come back through center. And we'll gently draw the knees into the chest, closing out with happy baby. Widen the knees, grab for the outsides of the feet, reach the sacrum down. Find a sense of freedom here. Maybe straighten out one leg or rock from side to side. Kicking through the heels. And when you're ready, find your final Shavasana. However that looks for you, either coming back to the fallen bridge or finding maybe a supine butterfly, or extending all the way out, taking up space. And I'll guide us out when it's time. Let's slowly begin to guide the awareness back inward. Set up a deepening the breath, welcoming in some small movements with fingers and toes. And then whatever expression of your bottom half you took, you can leave it right there. Just open up the arms out to a big T. And we're going to close them off. Give yourself a big bear hug here. Maybe you round out the upper back so much that you can grab the insides of the shoulder blades. Starting your day with a big hug. Good, and I'll release that bear hug. You can take it to a full body stretch. Now lengthening out the legs if you'd like. And when you're ready, with as little effort as possible, draw the knees back into the chest one at a time. And we'll find a little rock and roll along the spine. Eventually coming up to a seat to close out class together. Sitting up nice and tall. Feel the sit bones ground. Move the shoulders back and down. So inhale, flip the hands around and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the center of the forehead. Thank yourself for finding your mat this morning. Moving, breathing, seeing what shows up. Next, inhale, hands around and up. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the center of the lips. Send gratitude to those who joined you in community. Thanks for showing up this morning. And final breath together. Hands out, around and up. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the center of the heart. We'll place palm over heart. You feel that warmth connect. Draw the chin to the chest. From my heart to yours, friends, and namaste. Happy Tuesday. Happy Bastille Day to any who celebrate. Up to your usual time on Thursday. Thanks for showing up.